Hey, good people. It is Casey here, co founder and executive director of Helping Empower Youth. Now, if you see me looking a couple of different ways, y'all got all this stuff set up, right? We're trying to maximize all of our platforms at one time, also trying to be economically prudent, right? So instead of upgrading to be able to go to all the platforms, we got phone over here, we got tablet, we got computer. We're gonna make it work because we want you to be reminded of this Saturday is our Hey Let's Read Book Festival for Children of Color that is taking place on the 12th, again, this Saturday at the Russell Innovation Center for entrepreneurs. And it's from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. It's going to be a half day full of celebration for reading, for literacy, hoping that you build your personal libraries. Bring your families out. It is a family friendly event, y'all, right? Sometimes we don't have enough of those. And so we're going to have a DJ, we're going to have face painting, we're going to have raffles and giveaways. We have some pageant queens coming to do some read alouds and some story time, and you're going to have a chance to really connect with folks who have taken their passion for writing and to become authors and illustrators and publishers with our young people in mind, right? Just as a recap, you all know that we really started this book festival out of a need. I was on site at Boyd Elementary School over in the Bankhead community. And we're all familiar with the big box type of book festivals that come in, right? I surely remember them and being able to check off what it is that you wanted and begging your parents and your grandmama and your aunties for money so that you could go shopping. And what I realized is that even in business, right, you have to make a profit. Like I get that. But what was a little disheartening to me and to Coach Boyd was that the students who needed the books the most, right, it was a barrier for them to get them because the zip code in some algorithm told this big box publisher that they weren't going to turn a profit and that they had to submit a deposit and basically prepay for some of the books in order for them to even ship the books and the materials and supplies. And we thought about it. We definitely could have got on Twitter and kind of get the Twitter fingers of fire and call them out, and then did nothing, which is what a lot of times we find ourselves doing. We talk a lot, but then we don't do much. We have a lot to say about what's wrong, but then we don't do anything. And we didn't want to ascribe to what had become the norm. And so instead of, kind of calling those folks out, we decided to do something. And that is how the Hey Let's Read Book Festival for Children of Color got started. And so we were going strong, and you all know the pandemic hit and it shuttered a lot of our plans, but we were determined to get back to it. And so here we are. So I wanted to kind of give that update to those because I am going to come off of these other two devices in a moment because it's really not going to do you any justice because you won't be able to see my beautiful friend's face and kind of hear her clearly about the work that she's doing as well. But we invite you to go over to our Facebook page and Helping Empower Youth. Literally, if you go to Facebook and just type in Helping Empower Youth, you can pull up this live stream, or you can go to our YouTube page, which is Hey in Action and then the number 1, and you can see a stream live there too. But before I let these two folks go over here, I want you to be reminded that you can RSVP for free. Now, registration is not required for this event, but it helps us plan for you, and it helps our authors and our vendors plan for you as well. Make sure they don't run out of product and books and materials and supplies and information, right? So go over to Hey Let's Read 2022.eventbrite.com. Super simple. Hey Let's Read 2022.eventbrite.com, and you can RSVP there for free. And if you forget, just show up. Just come on out, be a part of it so that we can engage you as we are celebrating reading and literacy. All right. So again, head over to our Facebook page or over to our YouTube page to see the rest of this live stream, and we'll talk to you soon. All right. So now that we got that done, want to turn the floor over to Josette Evans, and she is going to talk a little bit about the work that she does with Metamorphosis Powerhouse Company. We have been rocking and rolling for a little bit now. We kind of find ourselves, orbiting in some of the same spaces, and even when we may not think we're going to run into each other, we find each other in places like Athens. So so you just never know. So just that, welcome, welcome, welcome. We're so
Thank
happy to
you.
have you here. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about the work you do and why is being a part of something like this so important to you?
Yes, thank you. So, Casey, today is so special because it's like everything is coming back full circle. My name is Josette Hutton Evans, everyone. I'm the founder and CEO of Metamorphosis Powerhouse Company, where we turn everyday places into public learning classrooms like the Hay Book Festival for children of color. And so a little bit about us. We are headquartered in McDonough, Georgia, but we support 8 counties across Georgia. We service youth and adults. And our whole mission is to make sure that everyone, regardless of where they live, okay, have access to a quality learning environment. And so what we do is we utilize public spaces to make sure that the community, regardless of where they live, have access to quality books. They have access to hands-on, minds-on STEM activities that we partner with community stakeholders, parents, and educators to identify resource hubs that the learning can continue going. And so what we saw, especially during the pandemic, is places that were already experiencing learning loss just got worse, right? I think the nation's report card came out, and it's looking like 32% of students across Georgia have regressed, and now it's 32% of students being able to read on grade level reading level. And so for us, we are always looking to partner to the right and to the left because nobody can do this alone. And not only support existing programs, but also curate solutions that allow for everyone to come out and access quality literacy resources, support teachers in the way that they need to be able to supply their classroom. We routinely do classroom grants. We create events where other resource providers like our STEM festival can come out and provide even more additional resources in the ways of science, technology, engineering, math. I know STEM has become a buzzword, but y'all, it is really still science, technology, engineering, and math, and everybody can do that. And so we really appreciate UKC for having events like this because that provides us the opportunity to engage with the community, hear from parents, hear from educators, hear from authors. I know that we were talking about this offline, but you are actually one of the reasons why we developed the program called Storytime and Pop, where we feature kid authors to do peer-to-peer reading. I came to the Hay Book Festival as a parent in 2019 and met so many amazing authors, but then it really opened my eyes to how many kid authors were out there, how many children were not only passionate about telling a story, but also leveraging the importance of reading. And we as adults can talk to parents and children all day about the importance of having a home library and having a love of reading. But it's a difference when they see their peers reading. It's a difference when they see their peers reading and hear their peers reading. And so a lot of what we'll be doing at our table is making sure that people have the opportunity to hear stories. We'll be doing read alouds like what I'm going to be doing today. I will be featuring one of the stories that I bought in 2019 at your festival. It's by Nicholas Guama. It's called Kayla and Kyle, The Walking Dictionaries, Volume 1, Election Day. I can't wait to read it in a few minutes. But these are the types of resources where we want to get in the homes of children. We want them to be able to see characters that look like them. We want them to be able to hear stories that they can relate to, right? And so when we look across the literacy stage, there's such a huge gap in not only authors of color being able to get their books in mainstream spaces, right? But also children of color being able to see themselves and see stories that relate to things that they know. And so we'll be doing a lot of read alouds. We are doing a book drive. And so part of the ways that we service the community is through our mobile book library and book giveaways. We have been coming up with United Way in Rockdale County on the 19th. And so definitely come out, bring your family, engage with the authors, definitely buy a book for your home. But we're also asking that if you see a book that needs to be part of our mobile library, that you purchase one and donate it in our book drive bin, so that we can share those stories with the wider community.
That, like, you know, even just you mentioning that there's so many ways for folks to get engaged, right? So, you know, of course, the heart of our work is around youth and empowering them, inspiring them, motivating them, mobilizing them so that they have the tools necessary so that they can start enacting change in their own worlds, right? But even the idea of coming to this book festival to not just shop for your child, your niece, your godchild, right? But to know that there are a lot of us who have the resources to purchase 2, 3, 5 of the books, right? That we're picking up for our own personal libraries, and then to have some place immediately on site that they can then donate so that other children are able to experience the love of reading and really have that same type of empowerment, you know, is amazing. And so I love the idea that outside of you all coming in and you're not traditionally authors, but you're using this opportunity to continue to expand the work that you're doing. So I love it. It's like, it's going to be like a mini service project on site as folks are coming in and building their own personal libraries, or hopefully as media specialists come and they see books that maybe they can advocate to be in their school libraries. I love that. That is awesome.
Yes, we always say, you know, here, especially through our Just Say Yes to Reading program and our early learner programs called Transform the Spark, the book is the hook, right? So we know that having a competence and confidence in reading also sets students up for success for all the other subjects. Today is election day. So I see Stacy, I mean, I see Casey's sticker. I see my sticker. Tag your it. It is election day. Please, as you're watching this on your device, I hope you are in a line somewhere. But November the 8th is also National STEAM Day. And so one of the things that we like to do is make sure, in the premise of the book being the hook, that we really hone in on those reading skills, because we know that if you can't do your reading comprehension, your ability to have a great learning outcome in a math problem is going to be a lot less, right? We know that if you can't read the science problem, then the ability to solve it is a lot less. And so honing in on those fundamental skills sets kids up for success on all the other academic building blocks that they're having to learn throughout the year. And reading can take you far. You know, having a love of reading allows you to be a lot more informed, right? And so when we are talking about days like today, being able to take your kids out where they can see you actively participating, but then letting them see you read the ballot, giving them practical skills on why reading is important everywhere you go, is a great building block of showing why literacy matters, right?
I mean, and even just the history lesson in that, right? That, you know, as our ancestors were fighting for the right to vote, that there were all these poll taxes that came, right? And some of those poll taxes weren't just monetary, they were also around the idea that if you were not a literate person, right? If you didn't have the ability to read, you would not be given the opportunity to cast your ballot and to cast your vote. And so I think we do our children a disservice when we don't make them understand how critical being a literate avid reader is to all areas of their life, and historically how they took something that seems simple, right, and really used it against you. And so, if for nothing else, reading for comprehension, even if you don't read because you love it, right, should be the goal. Because I hate this quote, but there has been some truth in it. And the idea around that if you want to hide something from Black folks, put it in a book, right? And a lot of that stemmed from because we were illiterate for so long, and we would be beaten and punished for learning how to read, even after quote unquote, slavery ended. And so I just wanted to throw that in there, because I think it's important that we weave all these pieces together every chance that we get for our children.
So important, telling the story, right?
Mhm.
And one of the things that parents can look forward to at our literacy and STEM table, in addition to learning about our reading programs that are both in person and virtual, is we also have different resources that allow students to activate their voice, right? So we talked about the importance of hearing someone read aloud, but these little reading phones will be available, where I use this with my own kids. I have a 4-year-old who's in preschool right now, and giving her the opportunity to not only use her finger and read along the story, right, but also hear her voice. Hear her voice reading, right? Hear her voice saying the words, and practicing what it looks like to not only read, but hear yourself read, hear yourself voice out what is on the page is so important, because it also helps build their confidence. So I'm hoping that as families come out to build their home libraries, and these media specialists come out to engage with the vendors, that you stop by the table and get free resources that can also aid in reading comprehension, confidence, and competence on what it looks like to practically read for your little
I
ones.
love it. I love it. Well, Josette, I'm going to turn the floor over to you so we can hear you read this very special book on a very special day. And so I'm going to make my plug again. If you have not voted early, and if you're not in line yet, get up and go vote, and make sure that you make that happen. So, Josette, the floor is yours, and we can't wait to hear you read this story.
All right, and I can't wait to share it with everyone. So again, hello everyone. My name is Josette Hutton Evans with Metamorphosis Powerhouse Company, and I am not an author, but I'm honored to share with you a book that I purchased by a child author. His name is Nicholas Wama. I'm going to make sure that Hay gets a chance to tag him on Facebook and Instagram. But this is called Kayla and Kyle, the Walking Dictionaries. And this is Election Day, Volume 1. This is illustrated by Linda H. And it is published by Mother Hubbard and Co., LLC. One of the great things about this book, and one of the reasons why I love it as a resource, is it's not just telling a story. There are literacy components and vocabulary glossaries in the back that I'll be able to show you. And Nicholas says he has a dedication in here. It says, "This book is dedicated to my mommy, who I love more than anything in the galaxy. She supports me in everything I do, Nicholas B." That touches me as a parent, but it also touches me as a community stakeholder, because so much of what we don't think that our kids see us doing makes all the difference in the world. And so I love the fact that Nicholas gave his mom a dedication in his book, and that they partnered together in 2018 to make this book. So shout out to Mother Hubbard and Co., and shout out to Nicholas. All right. On the inside, it says, "Dear parents, by participating in helping your child expand his or her vocabulary, you are not only building up their confidence, but you are also giving them the proper tools to aspire to greatness. Mother Hubbard and Co., LLC." And I can do nothing but co-sign that. You heard Casey and I talking a lot about that, but I love the fact that that's also in this book. So Kayla and Kyle, the Walking Dictionaries, Volume 1, Election Day. Today is an exciting day for Kayla and Kyle. It's Election Day, and they're both running for class president. By the end of the day, they'll know who the winner will be. But first, they need to get through their class debate. Now, I have this book, so I'm going to show you all of the awesome pages, but we'll also make sure that you know how to get your own copy of this book. Standing in front of the mirror with innate confidence, Kayla practices answering questions she thinks will be asked at the class debate. She wants to make sure her answers are perfect, so she practices a few more times before heading off to school. Despite being twins, Kyle is the exact antithesis of Kayla. While she's practicing for the debate, he's staring at the plethora of hats in his collection and wondering which one he should wear. After a few seconds of examining the hats, he grabs his favorite blue one and hopes that it will bring him luck in the debate. If you're watching, I want you to comment in the comment section if you know what antithesis means or plethora. Kayla and Kyle head out the door excitedly, both hoping they'll have a phenomenal day. What kind of day do you think they're going to have? Once at school, Kyle meets up with his best friend, Nick. Nick is a mathematical genius who has done nothing but encourage Kyle about the upcoming election. Kayla is a formidable opponent, but I know you'll win because, mathematically speaking, there are more boys in our class than girls, Nick says. You have a point, Nick, Kyle agrees. I just hope they'll vote for me. Let's see what happens. Kayla is immediately greeted by her best friend, Ramona, the walking encyclopedia. Ramona is always so sanguine about every situation, and this one is no different. She encourages Kayla by informing her of the many great women leaders in history. Before she can list them all, the school bell rings and they hurry off to class. The students are all very excited about the debate. They are supposed to be perusing their class assignment, but instead they are watching the hands on the clock tick by ever so slowly. Tick, tock, tick, tock. Finally, it is time for the great debate. Everyone heads to the auditorium. Who do you think is going to win? I need you to put in the comments if you think Kyle or Kayla is going to win. Hey, Miss Bowling. Kayla and Kyle stand behind the podium on the auditorium stage, looking very poised. They answer every question they are asked with enthusiasm. Their classmates are so impressed that they give them both a standing ovation. Have you ever received a standing ovation? It's now time for everyone to anonymously vote for whom they want to be their next class president. Is it going to be Kayla or is it going to be Kyle? Let's find out. After an hour of anticipation, Mr. Smith came on the class speaker system to announce the winner. Hello, kids. Without further ado, the winner of the election and your new class president is... Who do you think? Let me see. If you chose Kyle, you are right. Kyle Dictionary. The class is so happy for Kyle. Everyone shouts accolades at him. Congrats! You did it! Awesome job! Tell me in the comments what you think accolades means. Congratulations, Kyle. You deserve it, Kayla says. Thank you, Kyle replies. Kayla, I was thinking this day would be even better if you would be my vice president and collaborate with me to make our school great. Kayla is thrilled by his offer and quickly responds, I would be honored. Today was a phenomenal day for both Kayla and Kyle. The end. One of the awesome things about this story that really stands out to me is the author's depiction of the importance of collaboration, the call out to vocabulary words. In the back, there's an awesome glossary where parents and students can go through the different meanings behind the words. So during our read aloud, I asked you if you knew what antithesis means. And if you said opposite, then you're right. We also talked about the importance of the word collaborate, meaning to work together. And if you said that accolade is an award, praise, or applause, I need for you to give yourself a round of applause. I want to showcase to you the student who actually wrote this book and came up with the concept. His name is Nicholas Buama. He is on Facebook as himself. You can find him as Nicholas Buama. That's Buamah. You can also find Kayla and Kyle, the Walking Dictionaries, as a Facebook page here on Facebook. And it says in the back, twins Kayla and Kyle are competing against each other to become their school's next class president. Before their friends can cast their votes, they must first have a class debate to show that they are worthy contestants. Find out who will win the election and also learn new advanced words along the way. And I think that they nailed that, because using a book as a literacy tool not only allows you to teach components of civics, right? You can teach components of history. You can teach components of science, math. There were tons of illustrations showing the importance of what's happening in the classroom. All right. So one of the other great things about books like these is it can spark a conversation beyond what you're reading on the page. Okay. And so we absolutely love this book. This is actually on our Amazon wish list. You can follow us on everywhere social. We are Social Butterflies as Met Inc. Power Co. And we just really appreciate the opportunity of being able to showcase and share literacy tools that go beyond the page in the story. So thank you, Hey, for giving us the opportunity to read aloud. There will be other resources on our table, like we have Tangram puzzles, STEM career memory games. Come by and see us. We can't wait to see you this Saturday. This Saturday from 10 to 2.
Yes. We cannot wait.
I have never been at a Hay Book Festival and there not be tons of people. Okay. So we cannot wait to see you all. Thank you so much for allowing us to grace your space and turn this space into an everyday learning classroom.
Yes, no, we appreciate it so much. Love the book. Love all the elements that you help to really just expand our thoughts around the vocabulary words, the glossary in the back. Again, the tie-in while we're reading, and we want our youth and our children to understand the words that are on the pages, to even teach civics and history and social studies right amidst it. And you can't do anything can't do much of anything in this world without knowing how to read and how to read well. So again, we can't wait to see you all this Saturday. Um, we are just so excited for all that is going to happen this Saturday again, November 12th at the Russell Innovation Center for Entrepreneurs, 504 Fair Street, Southwest, Atlanta, Georgia. Walking distance from the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, right across the street from the Atlanta University Center, right there off of Northside Drive. So if you're familiar with the west side of Atlanta, then that is where we are. And so we want to see you. Registration is not required, but it helps us and our vendors and our authors plan for you. So we would love for you to head on over to heyletsread2022.eventbrite.com to RSVP so we can make sure that you get some of the phenomenal things planned for you and your family. So again, we want to say thank you to Josette and Metamorphosis Powerhouse Company for joining us today. And we can't wait to see you at the next Read Aloud, which is actually going to happen tonight. No, yes, 5 o'clock, y'all. We got a schedule. So we have another one happening tonight at 5 p.m. We have one tomorrow at 11 a.m., one at 7 p.m. tomorrow. Then we have Thursday. We have a bunch of folks on Thursday. So we're excited about that as well as we gear up for Saturday. So again, all over the country, folks have the opportunity, the privilege, the honor to exercise their right to vote. And you voting helps to make sure that people are in place to ensure that our babies get exactly what they need, even in schools. So do what you got to do, y'all. Make sure that we take care of community by exercising our right to vote. Go stand in a line, right? If you have not already early voted, we wait for everything else. Let's make sure that we cast our ballots on today. All right, talk to you soon. Have a great one.